Hello and welcome back to your virtual tea time. My name is Tori and today's a special day. Today is our 100th episode. It only seemed right to have Justin, Alex, and Tameka back with us. They were on episode 1 and I think you guys were back on in like June, so right smack in the middle. And thanks guys for being here today. It's a special day.
Congrats.
Thank you.
100.
Yeah, it's fun. So let me do a little check-in since it's been a while since you've been on the show. So Tameka, what's going on with you? What's going on with your golf game? Give us the spiel.
Lots of things are going on with the golf game. My handicap went down this year or past year, and that's a little stressful.
Well, tell us where it started, where it is now.
So in March of 2023, I was at an 18. My goal was to just get to a 15. I got to a 15 and it went down faster than I felt comfortable with. And it was a 12.5 the last time I checked. And I'm like, So now going, okay, you need to play a little better so that this doesn't look like it's a fake handicap. And so now I'm working on things. Just make myself confident in that number.
And really the only way to do that is just continue to play.
Yep.
And allow it to go, it could go back up to a 14 and then back down to a 12. And then before you know, it's going to be a 9.
I mean, the ultimate goal is to get single digit.
Which will happen.
Kind of happened faster than I anticipated, which was a little like, whoa, pump the brakes. What are you doing?
On that point, though, you had a post on your story the other day, which I think is so eye-opening. I forgot who you shared it from. Lou Stagner.
Lou Stagner.
Yeah, Lou Stagner said that a scratch golfer, their range of scores was anywhere from a 72, which is what a scratch golfer, or what people think scratch golfers shoot all the time. And then there was like 15 other scores all the way up to like 84 or something like that. Scratch golfers still shoot in the mid 80s, which you think that they don't. Scratch golfers were like, they always shoot right around 72 every time. The game of golf is just incredibly inconsistent. And a lot of times I think the handicap is more based on like what you're capable of doing at your best level. Like all of our scores are in this bell curve, and your handicap is more just highlighting what you're capable of potentially doing. And I think the main reason for that is to protect your competitors when you go into a tournament, that just in case you do shoot this super low score, you don't have a beefed up handicap and you'll just run away with the trophy.
No, absolutely.
So true.
So what's your relationship like with your index right now? Like, especially when you're out there playing golf?
My honest relationship?
Yeah.
So it's a love-hate. So I hate it when I'm in a tournament where there's net players because they're getting all the pops and I'm not. And then I love it when I get to talk to some other people about it because it's like, woohoo, it's not an 18. It's like good. But it is one of those things where I try not to stare at it like every day, but I did learn about like how numbers fall off and what that does to it. So then I started going, if that falls off, then this will happen. Like I kind of got a little crazy. So now I just play.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. And then I secretly, which is probably bad, if it goes up a little bit, I'm not that mad because I'm like, whew, all right, less stressful.
Yeah. Well, I can totally relate to that because when I feel it trending down, I'll be looking at it all the time. I'll be like, even when I don't play around, I'll like peek back in to make sure it's still going down. But then when like right now where I'm not playing my best golf, it's like, I don't even open the app at all. Or like the emails that come in and say your handicap index is updated. I'm like, we don't even need to look at that. So I completely understand with that. Well, congratulations on such a great year.
Thanks. Now I'm going to work on next year.
Yep, absolutely. And we're going to get into next year in a second. Hi, Justin.
Hi, Tori.
What's going on with you? You've had first of all, we did record an episode a couple weeks ago, but it was my mistake not to congratulate you on your new addition.
Oh,
Do you want to share the news?
Yeah, so we're expecting our second child who's going to be born in April. So we're due in April, and we got another girl coming. So girls golf, let's go.
You know what? It only makes sense that Justin's going to be a total girl dad. It really does, doesn't it? Like it makes, do you think 2 is it? Or do you think?
Right now we're good with the man-to-man defense where it's just two kids and two parents. But I mean, who knows? I mean, it's too early to tell.
Yeah. What else is going on? What's going on with work? Share what your new endeavor is.
Yes, my new endeavor right now is that kind of a style of coaching that we've kind of experimented with in Breaking Bogeys that's just creating just unbelievable results with people, where we're just focusing in on course management and practice plans. So I've definitely have ventured out more into this online space where it's like I can actually coach people online without really even seeing their swing or really even kind of dissecting their technique or anything. And it's more just watching how they play through a specific set of statistics, and then also seeing how they're practicing and giving them measurable drills and just seeing how they're performing in their drills. And just by trying to improve those core strategies and improve their practice drills and how they're doing in those practice drills, scores are just coming down so much faster than really ever before when I was coaching a lot of technique. So it's very exciting right now.
And what is this program like? How is it formatted? It's one-on-one coaching, right?
Yeah, it's one-on-one coaching, and it kind of starts off with like trying to pull kind of statistics from the course. So most people don't even know how to like analyze their own game. A lot of people will come to me and say like, well, I'll ask them what's wrong with their game, and they'll say, oh, I'm not hitting the ball far enough, or I need to work on my fairway woods. But then I have them kind of look at these specific statistics, and it really highlights where they're losing strokes. And 90% of the time it's inside of 100 yards, which is really where people are losing the majority of their strokes and can lower their score the fastest. Mm-hmm. So then once we identify where they're actually missing areas of improvement, we give them specific drills that they can be working on in their own practice, and also kind of give them some core strategies that they could be making different decisions on the golf course, which then allows them to really lower their score much, much faster. And then we just kind of repeat that process, kind of consistently looking back at the statistics and then seeing where should we be either spending more time in our practice or realigning or reminding ourselves of core strategies that can really lower that score pretty quickly. It's very fun.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
On that. It's been quite a year for you too.
Yes.
And, a transition is, a lot of work, and I know you're putting such an amazing effort into it. So congratulations on that.
You.
Also, congratulations on Golf Digest. Remind us what the ranking was that you just released.
It was Best in State that just came out, and I was ranked 11th in the state of Arizona, which is very cool. Mm-hmm. So, and that's all peer voted. So it's all teachers go in and they just vote for each other based on who they think, is most knowledgeable and everything like that. And I think last time it came out, I was 19th. So I kind of bumped up a little bit. But yeah, it's very cool to be acknowledged and recognized by Golf Digest, which is a very, very reputable magazine. And it's very cool to have my peers think that, I know something about the game of golf.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. Hi, Alex.
Hello.
So, Alex, we are going to dive into what's going on with Babes Golf.
Okay,
but before
we
do
about
that,
my golf game first.
Let's talk about your golf game. What's going on with your golf game?
So mine's kind of opposite of Tameka. I got down to 12.5, but now I'm up to a 15. And it's weird because I feel like my golf game's a lot better, but I'm consistently shooting the same score. So a lot of my lower scores have dropped off. And I feel like since our episode about like course management, I've really been focusing on that because that's something I didn't really know much about before. And now I'm like really thinking about my shots, like coming from the putting green out, Mm-hmm. So like what's going to be the best shot in, and not necessarily like I'm not aiming for the pin anymore. Like before I was like, oh, it's 90 yards to the pin. Okay, I'm going to hit a 90, Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, because what if the greens are fast and it's going to roll? And so it's just like things like that I'm now thinking of. And I feel like I'm playing or managing the golf course better, but my scores are not showing. And I played in my first member guest last week.
Oh, where?
At Phoenix Country Club with Shannon.
Oh, Shannon Downs?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
She invited me out and we had so much fun, and I love watching her play golf.
Yeah.
Very inspiring. Like she's only been playing 3 years and she is a badass.
Yeah. I might have to have Shannon back on to give us, because she has only been playing, like you said, 3 years.
Yeah.
And gosh, I think her handicap's already down to a 5.
3 or 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was so impressed.
So I can't imagine you guys didn't win, didn't you?
We got second in net.
Okay.
But there are some girls out there that are really good golfers, and they got us by like 10 strokes or something. So,
Oof.
yeah.
Well, I have to say, I also sometimes when I'm in a slump, I have the same feeling where I'm like, I do feel like I'm playing my best golf. And I think it's because just the more you play, the more experience you get. You feel like your library is growing and your experience is growing. So I feel like I'm the best golfer I've ever been, but it's just not showing up on the golf course quite yet. Yeah. But I know that all this experience is stacking up and I'm becoming a smarter golfer.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah. It's fun though. Like I've been having like so much more fun playing, knowing that like I know all these things now and I just know it's going to get better. So,
yeah. Well, fabulous. And we're going to look into 2024 in a bit too, but let's talk about what's going on with Babes Golf.
Yeah.
Because you shared briefly about it a couple weeks ago, and I've been trying to get you on to share about it on the podcast, but the timing hasn't worked. So you're finally here. I want to talk about really what's going on with Babes Golf, how we can help, and, just tell us as much as you can.
Yeah. So we launched a GoFundMe about a month ago, and I sat on it for about a month because I'm like, it's hard. It's something that like I've built in the last 5 years, and something I've been so passionate about is building women's golf, and we're being directly targeted for that. And so we're currently going through a lawsuit in California for an event that we attended. Someone at the golf course had said it was geared towards women, and this guy's come after us for the lawsuit says that we assisted in promoting a discriminatory event. So it was for an event that we were just at, and there's multiple people named on this lawsuit. And after doing some research, this person goes all up and down California targeting women events. There's been like karaoke nights. There's been numerous golf courses. There's golf coaches that are all involved with the same individual. And basically he's saying that they're discriminating against him. They're either offering like discounts on like ladies' nights. So we got in the middle of this, and it's been really tough for us because we are a small business, and a lot of times this person's just looking for people to settle, and he's made a whole business out of it. And a lot of the bigger corporations don't want to fight something like this because it's so much time and energy putting into trying to fight it. They would rather just settle. So that's how he gets a payday. And for us, we can't just settle, first of all, but second, like, we don't want to settle. We not only Babes Golf, but there's so many different organizations and golf teachers and everyone promoting women's golf and trying to get more women out there and create that comfortable space. And that's a space that I believe that we should fight for. And so we've been in contact with the SCJ because we're a SCJ club, and they had told me that this is urgent because they have multiple golf coaches that are also being sued for hosting women golf clinics. And it's not that we've never been inclusive, because we've always been inclusive. Some of my first golf events had more men in them than women, because at that time, like, I didn't know any women that played yet. And I mean, we even have male members, but they don't care about that. They care about this one event that someone had told him that, it was a women's golf clinic. And so now we're all trying to fight it together because someone needs to put a stop to it. Mm-hmm. People are just settling. This guy's going to continue to do what he's doing. And so, yeah, we plan on fighting it, and we hope to get the whole community behind us because we want to continue to serve everyone and have that space for people. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, I'm sorry this is going on. Because I can't even imagine how many nights you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep because you're just so stressed about this.
Yeah.
Because it's not only taking up so much energy, but it's taking up so much resources. Mm-hmm. And that's why you started the GoFundMe page. And the link is in the show notes for anyone that wants to help out. But what's going on right now? Like, where does it all stand? And
yeah, so right now we're in the very beginning of it. So we did get, one of my girls got served back in May. And so they serve you with the complaint, and then we have to answer to that complaint. So we just had us answer to the complaint why we shouldn't be involved in this, and like proof of like how we were part of this event and how we weren't the people saying like who can and can't come to the event because we weren't selling tickets. So right now we're just trying to defend that. I haven't heard anything. So we just submitted our answers a few weeks ago. It's a long process.
Justin, have you heard in the golf community any feedback on having women's golf clinics that you've gotten kickback for at all, or any rumblings in the community?
No, this is the first time I've heard of people, targeting people for doing women's clinic, because ladies clinics have been around forever. I mean, I've been teaching golf for over 15 years. Ladies clinics have always been there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I haven't heard of anybody who's been targeted when it comes to this type of stuff, but it sounds like it's very much in California that this guy is really targeting people. And
yeah, in California, you can't say women only, which we've never done. I used to work in HR department actually at a golf course. So I always knew the laws when it came to that. And we've always just promoted women's golf, promoted towards women. And so, yeah, I think a lot of people don't know that. One of the golf coaches that came to me said that she had him actually sign up for her golf clinic, and he showed up and she was like, oh, how can I help you? And like, what do you want to work on with your game? And he's like, well, this is a women's clinic, right? And she's like, yeah, but I teach everyone. He's like, well, then I don't want to do it, and left. And she got a lawsuit 2 months later.
Wow. It's quite something.
Yeah. So
Tameka, have you heard of this at all?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a lawyer. We forget that sometimes because I like to say I'm a golfer first, but I have heard, and I have only heard of it in California, sadly. And it's mainly because of the laws in California are so different around those types of things versus in other states. But other organizations have been targeted. And I don't know if it's the same individual, but I have heard of it before.
It's a shame because, again, you're doing really good things, Alex. So I know that some days you're probably like, why am I doing this? This doesn't make any sense anymore, but just keep at it. We're here. We're going to support you any way we can. And again, the GoFundMe link is in the show notes.
Thank you.
On to 2024. So let's talk about maybe some goals and then a belief. So I asked everyone to bring a 2024 golf goal and a 2024 golf belief that you want to get rid of this year. So a goal that you want to keep and a golf belief that you want to get rid of. All right. Who wants to start? Come on, Tameka.
Everybody's head turns to me. I'm in the first chair, I guess. So mine are actually related.
Okay.
So I'll just do them all.
Yeah, we can,
A belief that I am getting rid of is that you have to be really good to sign up for tournaments and things within your local golf association or even play in leagues. And I was that person, like, I can't sign up until I am this handicap, right? But I did. I forced myself out of my comfort zone in 2023, and I signed up for several of the Arizona Golf Association's one-day golf series that they had. When I tell you the first time they announced my name at the tee box and people clapped, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. And I was like, I have to now hit this driver in front of people. Like, it was a whole thing. And I don't like that because I am pretty confident in everything I do. And so this was the one thing that made me uncomfortable. And so my goal in 2023 was to get more comfortable with the uncomfortable. And that meant playing more of those types of tournaments. So when I heard my name announced at the tee box, it didn't scare me as much anymore. And so believing that I couldn't do it because I wasn't a single digit, or as my husband says, those ladies are going to kick your behind because, he's thinking you got to be really good. That is one myth that I'm like, nope, you don't. You get out there, you put yourself in uncomfortable situations to get more comfortable, learn from them, grow from them. And that's where I was in 2023. So 2024, the goal is to do more of those, but to be more strategic about them. Like, I just signed up for them previously to just get comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm like, all right, I can actually do well in these, but what do you need to work on to do well? And so your earlier talk about course management was spot on. That is 100% my issue. I don't have a problem driving the ball far or using my irons, but when I get close 100 yards and in, I'm left, right, over, all over the place. So my focus is really to be more intentional about my short game and focusing on how to actually score and manage the course. Because I learned doing those one-day series, just because I can drive the ball really far and I end up in the junk and now I have a 2-stroke penalty versus the 78-year-old lady that I'm playing with that hits it like 100 yards less than me, but is in the middle and in the fairway, still beats me.
And she's going to chip it and putt.
And putt her lights out. So I have learned so much by doing those, but it also makes me focus now on what I want to do to improve for 2024. So I'm being all intentional about my short game. And then I have already signed up for like 7 of those one-day series for next year to continue to get comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking forward to it, actually.
And a lot of state events, people don't realize, are gross and net. So you're doing the one-day net series, which is perfect, but also the biggest women's championship of the year, the Arizona State Am, the championship flight, which is, the lowest handicaps that enter are playing gross, but they still have a net prize in the championship flight. And then the rest of it's net too. So it doesn't matter. Like most state events will offer net prizes also. So it just doesn't matter. Your handicap index, it can be all different levels and you can still go and enjoy these state tournaments, learn from them, and usually play courses that are pretty expensive and you get a deal on them. So, I encourage everyone, as always, to play in those state tournaments.
It's been fun and a true learning experience. I think I posted about it. Like, I learned so much about myself, how I perform under pressure, how I recover, but I kept coming back. So clearly I was getting something out of it. Like, it didn't completely run me away, but now you can announce my name at the tee box and I clap with you. And then I hit my ball because it is what it is.
And Justin, we safely say no one really enjoys the announcement at the first tee and people watching them.
Absolutely. Yeah. It brings all this pressure onto this one shot that you might have just hit perfectly 10 times in a row on the range. And then you come right up to the first tee and you get announced. And now all this pressure is on this spot, and dealing with that pressure is a skill. And it's also getting used to that, and the more you play in these tournaments, the more you get used to it. And it ends up not being that bad anymore.
Yeah.
I think about because usually it's the tournament staff that's watching for the most part, and your playing partners and maybe their caddies or whatnot. I always think of like if we switched and they were in my position of hitting this golf shot in front of everyone else, they'd be just as scared as I am. And nervous about it. So we all feel that way.
Yeah.
And if you hit a bad shot, like I've seen people hit a bad shot, and do you even think twice about it if someone else hits a bad shot on the first tee? No. So, but for some reason, man, that is nerve-wracking. Mm-hmm. So I still feel that way. Trust me.
I'm not alone.
Justin, what do you have for 2024?
Well, it's right along the same lines. I haven't played in a competitive tournament since the year of 2009 on my own. And my goal for 2024 is I'm going to actually enter some tournaments sometime in 2024. And I'm going to try to compete again.
No, stop.
And then the reason why, though, it comes all around your story, is that at PV Country Club, which is where I'm director of instruction, we had an event on December 2nd. All the pros had to play in a horse race. And if you've never played in a horse race before, it's basically where there was 9 of us and we all had to play the first hole. They were only going to play 4 holes. We all played the first hole and the 2 worst scores were going to be eliminated. Then 7 people went to the second hole. 2 scores got eliminated. 5 go to the third hole. 2 get eliminated, and then the 3 go into the last hole, and you would go win, place, and show.
And usually there's tons of people watching
Correct.
at the same time.
So this was a way for the members to get to know the pros and actually go watch them play. And I mean, I'm sweating about even just talking about that, even though it already happened. But like leading up to this moment, because there's almost, I feel like, more pressure as being an expert in the game of golf.
Yeah.
That it's like, all right, let's see what this guy can do. He knows what he's talking about, so he's going to be amazing.
I can't wait to watch this.
So there was a whole announcement of us. There was 40 to 50 members there watching us. So these are all people that are either my current students or potential students that are like there to watch us. We had walk-up songs. So there was a song.
What was your walk-up song?
My own barbershop quartet was my own walk-up song.
You know what? I'm glad you're sharing about that more with us.
Yes. So yeah, my quartet's song was the one that was played when I walked up, and they announced my name. And lucky enough, I smoked it right down the middle, and I made it all the way to the last hole, and I came in second place at the end. But I mean, I was so nervous that I was going to blow this first shot out of bounds. And
I actually thought that's what you were going to say.
Yes. And to be honest, I was strategic in something that I could control. We've talked about this a lot, like in breaking bogeys and stuff. We do not have control of where the ball goes. As much as we think we do, we don't. But we have control of what club we end up utilizing. And I actually teed off with a 5-iron. Just to guarantee the fact that I can hit the ball into the middle of the fairway. And I just hit the 5-iron right in the middle of the fairway and hit the ball on the green. Oh, and a really funny story about this. My wife and daughter came out to watch us while we played.
Yeah.
So we get up to the green and everyone has to putt. And I was putting last because we were doing people who were closest to the hole. And I just so happened to be farthest from the hole when I was putting my birdie putt. So everyone's putting. My wife and daughter are standing there watching. And then all of a sudden it's my turn to play. And my daughter, who's only 2 years old, sees me putting my ball down, taking my mark away. And she just yells out from everybody, "Daddy's turn." And the whole crowd was just like,
oh no, I love that.
Very cute moment. But yeah, so playing well in that high intense situation kind of said like, why not? Why shouldn't I play in a tournament? And why shouldn't I go for it?
Not?
Yeah. So.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with this.
Yes.
I think Ashley's slightly obsessed with it too. This is exciting.
Yeah.
So I gotta imagine you did like a little soft Google search or something, or a tournament that you might have in mind.
Yeah, I think a lot of so I'm a part of the PGA Southwest section. There's tournaments that are going on all the time, and they're usually in the summertime. Summertime's usually the big time to play in tournaments. So I'm going to research a tournament sometime this summer, and I'm in Flagstaff typically, so I'll probably just drive down for this one day, and I'm going to go play in the tournament and see how it goes.
Oh my God, I love this. Okay, wait. So let's just role play a little bit. What do you think you have to work on the most then in the next, let's say you're going to play in June. Let's just say tournament's in June. What would you focus on the next 6 months? So
this is what I think, and this is what I'm going to focus on, and this is what I think most people have to focus on, is their own self-belief in their own ability. We've talked a lot about this in Breaking Bogeys, is that if you were to go hit a shot, and let's just say it's horrendously bad out on the golf course, and you drop a second ball just as a mulligan, and if that shot is great, which everyone's listening to this podcast and everyone who's sitting here who have experienced that second shot is always amazing.
Second team all-star.
Which just proves that you already have a very, very good golf swing. Everybody already has that great golf swing. And that's my new belief going into 2024 that I'm throwing away in 2023. People do not have to fix their golf swing to play better golf. And when you are trying to fix your golf swing to play better golf, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get worse. Because you don't have to fix your swing. Your swing is already awesome. And I have to believe and that's what I'm going to be working on, is believing that. And when I stepped up to that first tee in front of everybody, especially that first one, I took 2 practice swings. And in those practice swings, which is part of my pre-shot routine, and I coach my students on this as well, I look up after I hit my practice swing and I see the ball going exactly where I want it to go. Now, if you don't consciously think about this, you will subconsciously think about taking a practice swing, and then you're going to worry about the ball going out of bounds on the right. So whatever you're thinking about seconds before you're about to hit the ball, most likely is going to happen. So you have to train your brain to think so immensely positive going into that ball, because you want to be uber confident going into it so that you can hit it. I actually had a student yesterday that was on the last hole, and she's been swinging so conservatively the whole day and not hitting anything very well. And I just said, okay, take another practice swing, but I want you to swing weight. Like, you're just going to rip it right down the middle. She just found this whole other gear and like swung so fast. Like, before she even hit the ball, I went in and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know that was in you. You're like holding back on me. She stepped up and hit the ball 20 yards further than her farthest drive she had ever hit. So like, good golf comes from super high belief in your own ability and just swinging away. It is not swinging smooth. It is not swinging slow, because that's what we're constantly told out on the golf course when you hit a bad shot. Oh, you're swinging too fast. You got to slow down. Yeah. And not correct. That is not correct. The answer is not slowing down and being more conservative. We have to have a super high belief in ourselves. And that's what I'm going to be working on to prepare for the tournament, is having a higher belief in my ability, because I am a really good golfer.
You are. Oh my God. I love this. Can you share?
I'm a really good golfer.
I'm a really good golfer.
Do you think that you'll share your experience, whatever tournament you choose to play? And maybe it's more than one. Will you share your experience on social?
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Good answer. I love this. Okay. Well, that's exciting. And really I just finished playing the PGA Club Championship last week. And that is what I struggled with the most. I could feel the tension in my body, how uncomfortable I felt over the ball. It was at its worst round one. And it's like, I was aware of it. I told myself, like, I just need to get out of this spot where I'm just like so tense over this ball. And I had no belief that I was going to play well. And my game just got better each day. And the ironic part is that day one was the easiest course. And then the hardest course was day 3. And my golf game got better and my confidence grew as we went on. But it was just a battle the first day and a half, swinging that club. It was like I was fighting it so much. I couldn't just swing away.
Yeah. And we all get stuck in that area, of just being stuck and tense. And it's really hard to reverse it once you're in it. But that's why having an immensely good short game, and that's why working on that short game is so good, because that's why, a lot of our students, if we work on that short game and we have a really, really solid short game, on a bad ball striking day, no matter how much you believe in yourself, you're going to have a bad ball striking day. But when you have an immense ability to have a great short game, which just comes from practice, and have a good, smart course strategy, those bad ball striking days can turn into not too bad of a score. Yeah. But then when you have a great ball striking day, you can go super low. Yeah, so it's just building a good defense for your team when your offense is just not playing that well. Your full swing is your offense. Your short game is your defense. You want that defense to just be a really, really good part of your game.
Absolutely. Well, okay. Love that. Alex.
Yeah, so
let's go over your 2024 golf goal and the 2023 golf belief you're getting rid of.
First, I'm going to get rid of the beliefs, because I have a lot of I can'ts right now. And
can you share a couple?
Yeah, one is I can't do a flop shot. I get nervous opening up my club in the sand.
Totally understand.
The other I can't hit my 6-iron.
Ooh, I've had that before too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love my 7-iron, but what happens when I grab my 6-iron? It's like a brand new club in my bag right now.
And just so you know, Justin's like foaming at the mouth right now. He wants to talk about it. He can't. He's like, I will teach you how to flop shot. I know what to do with that. Okay, keep going. Rattle some others out.
And then the belief of I can't make a 2-foot putt, but I can make a 40-foot putt.
Yeah. Okay, love that one too. Been through that. Justin, help us out with just those.
I just want to jump into the 6-iron thing really quick. Okay. I've done this so many times with
students. You're not watching this on video, Justin is literally beet red right now. He can't take it.
Okay, so the 6-iron. I've done this so many times with students, and I love doing this student. Someone always comes up to me. I have this at least once a month. Someone comes up. I can hit my 7-iron great, but I can't hit my 6-iron. I don't know what it is.
Is it really a 6-iron thing, or are you just making that story up like as an example? sample.
so much longer. It's
usually a longer iron. It's usually a longer iron. But yeah, it's either 7 or 6 iron. I always hear it's like right around that level. So basically, this is what I do with every student. It works every single time. I say, oh my God. And I take the 6 iron. I'm like looking at it. I'm like, maybe the weighting's off, because that's also another thing students believe.
Wait, you say that?
Yeah.
Knowing that you're full of shit?
Oh, I go right into their whole belief system. And I'm just like, there's a sound in this thing. And they're like, really? So I'm just getting them biting at it. And I'm like, what? So you said you can hit your 7 iron good. What's your club out next after your 6 iron? Is it a hybrid? 5 hybrid?
Yeah, I have a 7 wood, 11 wood.
11 wood.
11 wood, a 7 wood. But I need that 6 iron because 11 goes too far.
Yeah.
6.
So it goes 7 iron, 6 iron, 11 wood?
Yeah, because I didn't even have them put a 5 in my bag because I can't hit the 6.
Got it. So I say, okay, 7. So this is what I do with the student. I'm saying, so 7 iron's good. You hit your 7 iron good?
Yes. Love
you
the 7
hit your
iron.
11 wood good?
Yes. Love
okay.
it.
So it's just the middle one that we can't hit. Mm-hmm. So then I say, okay, show me the 11 wood. You hit the 11 wood, bang, 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 bang. Wow, that's awesome. And you said 7 iron's good, right?
Love it.
So I hand you a 7 iron. Give you a 7 iron. You hit it, bang, 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 bang. I'm like, why are you hitting that so well? And it's my 7 iron. I said, is it? Oh, I always throw the 6 iron in their hands and they think it's the 7 iron. And when they swing their 6 iron thinking it's their 7 iron, they always hit it amazing.
I've tried that trick on myself too. And it just
maybe the weight really is off. No,
I don't know, but I need to get rid of that belief that I can't hit the 6 iron because I know it's in me.
Yeah. I mean, because the only difference between a 6 iron and a 7 iron is that it's 4 degrees less loft and it's a half an inch longer. So it's like they're so similar in clubs that there's no way that there would be a drastic difference, because if you hit your 7 iron amazing and the 6 iron is really, really bad, and it was because it was too long or not enough loft. Well, the 7 iron shouldn't be amazing. It should be just an okay club. But the fact that it's amazing, it's just too close of a golf club to really believe that it's there. So, I mean, I feel
like Tameka's on my team.
Well, okay. In all honesty, I have a 6 iron and a 6 hybrid in my bag.
Okay.
Because the day that the 6 iron doesn't act right, the 6 hybrid works just fine. And I'm not kidding you.
That's another thing too. Go ahead and just go to the next. Do you have any hybrids? It's just all woods.
Woods. 11.
Why have you resisted hybrids?
I don't know.
You might try testing out a 6 hybrid.
Okay.
You might like it.
Yeah. I use it differently, but I laugh at myself because I'm like, well, clearly I can hit it. It's just, it is my own psych myself out. So I have a 6 iron, a 6 hybrid, and a 5 hybrid. And I just have a 3 wood. But I use the hybrid whenever the 6 iron is like needing to be in timeout.
Yeah.
And I don't hit my 6 iron as high as my 7, but I can hit the 6 hybrid with higher, it goes higher. So I use it at different times, but it's my little mental way of, it's like, totally why do I have mental. 2 clubs with the same
also
number?
Too though, like the 6 hybrid is just a more forgiving 6 iron. That's all it is. It's just a more forgiving 6 iron because it's built with more mass behind it, which then brings the center of gravity back, which puts more spin on the ball, which allows the ball to get up higher in the air. So if you don't have a 6 hybrid and haven't experimented with one, I think you should get it because more and more, I mean, I've even seen people now almost getting rid of their 7 irons now and going to a 7 hybrid. It's just a more forgiving 7 iron and 6 iron is just the hybrids. And why not have more forgiveness on the golf course? I mean, it's already a tough enough sport.
Yeah.
So if you have a club that's a little bit more forgiving, it's definitely a better club to have in your bag.
We'll play, Alex, and you can borrow mine.
Yeah.
Test it out.
Yeah.
Okay. So how about the putts? So you're struggling with your short putts?
Yeah, but that's mental too, because I can make some epic putts from like off the green, like 30, 40, feet. And it's like, wow, I always make those putts. But then for some reason, I get so nervous when I have like 2-3 feet.
Yeah.
So
because you think to yourself, you have to make this. You should make this.
You should not miss this putt. It's so embarrassing.
Which is kind of true, though. It's kind of true, Justin. You don't want to be giving away those 2-3 foot putts.
For sure. It's once again, we're talking about like, what are you thinking seconds before you hit your shot, whether it's a putt or a full swing shot or a flop shot over a bunker, do you believe that you're going to be successful or do you believe that you're going to fail? And whatever that belief system is, seconds before you pull the trigger usually comes true. So that's why I use the practice strokes like I did in front of everybody during the shootout. Seconds before I hit it, 2 practice swings, seeing that tee shot go exactly where I want it to go, and then step up to the ball and then just rip it. Same thing with a 2-foot putt. I actually look up at the hole and I do a practice stroke for 2 reasons. 1, so I can see the ball going in the hole to build up my confidence. And then 2, not to think so technically about my practice stroke on the putting stroke. Because everyone looks down on their putting stroke and they're always looking at how wobbly their stroke is going back. Instead of just looking at the hole, make a nice fluid stroke, see the ball going into the hole, step up, repeat the stroke, and it just goes in. And when your brain sees the ball going in the hole just in your imagination, your brain doesn't know the difference of reality versus your imagination. So if you've made it twice in your head, you actually believe you already made the putt twice, and then you just step and repeat it, and the ball goes in every single time. So
Yeah.
I believe you.
Yeah. And I mean, the only thing that has helped me with short putts and given me confidence is just practicing them.
Yeah. And having
so
drills
many
to work on
times.
them,
Yeah. And I mean, gosh, I feel like it was Phil Mickelson that said it. And I'm sure plenty of other professional golfers have said it. They go out there and they hit 100 3-footers in a row and they got to make them all,
Yep.
you know? And even if you're using a mirror with a gate to really ensure that you're making those putts, like you're setting yourself up for success, it's like just learn that that's normal for you, that you make these putts. For me, all I think about when I'm over one of those, a short putt, is straight back, straight through. Like I already have the line, which most of the time is within the cup.
Yeah.
So it's like all I have to do is go straight back, straight through, and it's in. That's all I have to do at this point, So, and trust me, my putter does get a little wobbly in the backswing too, but it tends to come back square. So. Okay, the flap shot. Can we talk about the flap shot for a second before we get into your goal? Because, Justin, when we have talked about course management, I got to think that choosing to do a flap shot, face all the way open, high speed of a swing, because the only way to execute it is to swing pretty fast.
Right.
It's like, is a flap shot ever worth it? Or should you just be getting up on the green?
Yeah, just anywhere on the green. Anytime that we're forced to hit a flop shot, the pin is irrelevant, right? So we're just going for the middle of the green. And a lot of times, what's your highest lofted club?
58.
58. So 58 is plenty of loft to hit a flop shot without opening it. You can just literally just hold it square, do your little half swing. It's not going to flop like a really cool shot.
Well, I guess that's what I'm talking about, though. Like, it is making a flop shot, to executing a flop shot where it is super high and comes down and stays right where it is
it's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Well, so like if you're in the bunker and the pin is literally, you have a foot to land your ball and go to the pin.
Yeah.
It's never worth it.
Oh, you're saying, and you can't go,
exactly.
And you can't go any farther.
I can get out of the bunker if I just go at it with my 58 normally, but someone recently told me, no, you need to open it up more.
Yeah. For the really, really short shot, right?
Yeah. For a short shot.
Yeah. I mean, that is the strategy. If you have a really, really short bunker shot, is you have to lay the face open and then just swing away. And you're just saying it just looks weird to you. And you're just like, you can't get over the weird look of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah. I think that's
I mean, I get that
practice.
too.
Yeah.
But again, going back to playing smart and having strategy, it's like if you already have short-sighted yourself. Correct. Why compound that arrow?
Just aim for the middle. So that's what I would say. So so if you're looking at a green and no matter where the pin is, whether it's short, left, right, or long, if I'm just in the middle of the green, that's a great place to be no matter where the pin is. Mm-hmm. So I suggest to everybody, don't open it up. Just hit your normal bunker shot right to the middle of the green, and that's going to be great. And also it puts less pressure on yourself. I always use the idea of like, if you were to throw a ping pong ball towards, instead of like a solo cup, but make it a shot glass. Wow, that's like so much more tension to try to throw a ball into such a small area. But if I change the target to a trash can, Well, throwing it into the trash can is a lot easier, right? So if instead of trying to go for the pin, which is really pressure because it's such a short, delicate shot, if I just say anywhere on the green is great, it alleviates that pressure and you can just swing away and you can hit the ball on the green. The only thing that I'm thinking of for you, though, is just that if you do have that short shot, and it can't go any farther, because I'm thinking of like a really narrow green and you're on the side of that green and you're having to hit a really short shot. And if you hit it too far, you go across and you go into the other bunker. That's where you have to be able to hit the short shot.
You want to go to the fat side of the green, wherever that is.
That's true. Yeah. Just aim for the fat part of the green. And then one of my favorite bunker tips of all time. Ooh. And it's a funny one. I'm leaning in. The best way to get better at bunkers is to not go in them.
Oh gosh.
And it's just such a stupid tip. Such a stupid tip. So, but I had somebody the other day, kind of like a lady golfer who was more at that beginner level. She had a 110-yard shot to this green, and this green has a huge bunker out front right. And she had to hit a 110-yard shot over the screen. And I asked her, I said, what's your chances of hitting this shot over the bunker safely on the green? Would you say it's an 80% chance? She said, no way. I said, would you say it's 50%? No way. So if you're not feeling that confident that you can hit the ball onto the green 80% of the time, laying up, although it seems silly because it's like I have a 110-yard shot, I should be able to hit this onto the green. It's such a better idea to just lay up, hit an 80-yard shot. And I told her to hit it somewhere to the left side. She hit an 80-yard shot somewhere to the left side. Now she had this clear opening into the green. She chipped it up onto the green. She two-putted and made bogey versus trying to hit this 40% shot onto the green. The 60% shows up and now she's plugged into the bunker with a short pin. She tries to hit that delicate shot and she blades it over the green. Then she has another bunker shot. She hits that shot. She leaves it into the bunker. Then she hits it out of the bunker. And then she's so upset with herself, she three putts from there.
Yeah.
So that all could have been avoided just by hitting this conservative 80-yard shot short to the left. It seems silly, but it totally lowers your score because you just turned a potential 6, 7, or 8 into a 5. And that's saving 1, 2, 3 strokes on your score just by making that simple of a decision. So if you have a shot in front of you that you feel like you cannot hit 80% of the time, you must be taking a more conservative approach into that green. And by hitting that 80-yard shot, you're avoiding the bunkers. And that's why you get better at bunkers by just not going in them.
Mm-hmm.
Some more great course management knowledge.
More course management knowledge.
Well, that's kind of how I think of with my 3-wood too, because I cannot, if you ask me, can I hit my 3-wood well?
Right.
80% of the time? Nope.
Yep.
50% of the time? Oh, I don't think so.
Yep.
So when I was playing last week in competition, my caddy kept handing me my 3-wood on par 5s to go for it. Get as close as you possibly can. And we're at true north, so really bad desert on either side. And I'm like, no.
Yep.
He's like, well, why do you have this thing in your bag if you never want to use it? You know, like this is when you use it to get onto a par 5. I'm like, I don't want to make things worse. Like when I can just lay up with a 7-iron and have a nice wedge in that I feel very confident with. So that's kind of where I struggle with is my 3-wood. And
absolutely.
Why do I have that fucking thing in my bag? He really is like, just get rid of it. Go to a 5-wood, go grab another 5-wood, get another hybrid, 3 hybrid even maybe.
Yep. I mean, well, that's another example too. Going for a par 5 and 2. I'm long enough to be able to hit most par 5s and 2. Mm-hmm. Every single time I go for a par 5 and 2, I always lay up 10 to 20 yards because most of the time that I'm going into a par 5, I have, let's just say I even have a 6 or a 5-iron coming in from about 210 yards and I'm hitting a 5-iron into the screen. What's the chances that I hit this green from 210 yards? It's not 80%.
Yeah.
I can't hit it 8. Tour players cannot hit greens 80% of the time for 210 yards. Mm-hmm. They just can't, not 80% of the time. So if I can't do it 80% of the time, why am I taking in all these green side bunkers that's going to short side myself and really put myself into trouble? Mm-hmm. So I always take, if it's a 5-iron to hit the middle of the green, I take a 6 or a 7-iron, lay up 20 yards. That 20-yard chip shot right in front of the green is always a really easy one.
Yeah.
So I hit it right to there. And then once again, rely on my short game that I should be practicing all the time to get it up and down for the birdie. And at worst, I make par.
Yes.
You know, so it's like, it's such a smarter play. And you can look back on any round that you've ever played and mistakes are just being made on just simple club choice.
Oh, yeah.
And then one other instant, I had a student this last summer who was trying to hit his second shot on a par 5, and he always topped his 3-wood into this ravine that we had to go over. And he's like, see, this is the shot that I have to work on. I have to work on not topping my 3-wood. So the next time we went there, we were in this situation. I said, this is the part where you usually top your 3-wood, right? He said, yep. I said, if you had to pick a club that you could guarantee that you can hit it great every single time, what club would that be? He said 6 hybrid. I hit 6 hybrid perfect every time. I said, put your 3-wood away. Hit your 6 hybrid. Hits his 6 hybrid. He's got a 90-yard shot into the green. Hits that shot onto the green to about 5 feet. Makes the putt birdie. I said, never hit your 3-wood ever again.
Yeah.
Why do it?
Oh.
Because we think we're supposed to.
Well, no,
Bingo.
Tameka, we've done it once before.
Right. The one time you executed, that's all I remember. I try to forget the bad shots.
Yeah.
So I always can see myself doing miraculous things. I'm just saying. My mental game is the opposite sometimes where it's so confident.
Too much high belief in myself.
That's
I
me.
can hit that 3-wood. I can thread that
Every
bunker.
time.
I can
I'm like,
lay
I
it
got
up
this.
right up to
The
that
belief
spot.
I'm getting rid of is that I'm really good.
That's so true.
That's so
that is
funny.
me. I'm working on that.
Oh, I love
I
that.
saw a meme the other day about like, you 90% of the time will hit the 2-inch tree branch. Like that one time you were like, I'm going to go through the tree because I can get right through it. No, like 90% of the time you're going to hit that 2-inch tree branch.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. Oh, golf is maddening.
yeah.
Okay, so on to our golf goals.
Golf goals. Yes. We'll get rid of the I can'ts.
Yep.
That's one of them. Because I've also learned in this year how much golf is so mental, and like just listening to your guys' podcasts about the mental game and like really talking good to yourself while you're out there is a huge, huge part of the game. So my goals for 2024 are to finally break 80. My lowest score is an 82, and then just get back down to low 80s. So I'm consistently shooting in the high 80s right now. So
Justin, what tip comes to mind when someone wants to break 80? What will get you in those 70s?
Well, let's
that
just do
point?
a poll of everyone right here. Just
Yeah.
a really quick question. How many greens in regulation do you think you have to hit to break 80?
well, I better start paying attention to that. But
I'll say
80.
8?
Yeah, I'd actually go with 8 too.
Okay.
I've never thought about it, but my first was 12. That's what number popped in my head.
12 greens. Perfect. So if you want to be an LPGA Tour player, 12 greens is what you have to hit. If you want to be a scratch golfer, you'd have to hit 9 greens. To break 80, you only need 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the whole thing. Once again, we think we need to be hitting greens in regulation. People are taking risks trying to hit 3-woods onto greens because that's what good players do. They hit greens in regulation. No, they don't. They miss. The best players in the world average missing a third of the greens in regulation. They only hit 12.
And that's the best in the world.
That's the best in the world.
Yeah.
They average. Now, yeah, maybe the week they win or the round that they like shoot like super low 60s, maybe they hit like 15 or 16 greens. But that's only one time. Like that's not average.
Yeah.
They're not averaging that. So that strategy of like allowing yourself to miss greens on purpose and miss greens on purpose strategically, like this lady who had a 110-yard shot. I'm going to tell her, we're missing this green on purpose. We're going to hit the ball somewhere over here to the left, make your bogey and move on. And you can usually pick the holes out on the courses that are your really hard holes. And having a bogey on that hole is just fine, right? Because when you're going to try to break 80, you need to have 6 bogeys and all the rest are pars, So, you have to have a good short game to get those up and down. And then when you're playing a really, really hard hole, be okay with bogey. Don't try to hit the green in regulation because when you try to hit that green in regulation, you're introducing the possibility of a double, maybe even a triple, which really crushes your chances of breaking 80. So knowing the real
Makes
numbers
it really hard.
and knowing that you don't have to hit that many greens to break 80, I think is a big aha moment.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, you're totally going to break 80 this year.
I feel like I'm so close.
Feel it.
I go like the last round I played yesterday, first 2 holes, par. And then the next 2 holes, double. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just like ruined my first 2 holes, you know? So like it's a struggle. But the thing is I know what I can score on those holes, and I just got to put all the good ones together.
Yes.
So.
Or you could be like me, and when I did it, I still don't feel that it's real because I keep saying it was an easy course.
No.
I was like, that doesn't count. It's horrible, but I still say it. I'm like, that doesn't count.
No.
You know, even on easier courses, though, you still have to score. You still have to put the ball in the hole. Totally. So that's why when I change tee boxes and I play my home course at more of a forward tee compared to the back tee, I'm shooting very close to the same because you still have to put the ball in the hole. So it's just... Okay, well then on to myself with beliefs and goals. So my belief that I'm getting rid of is that I shouldn't be playing in an event if I don't feel like I'm playing my best. Like I have got to get rid of that because, again, even going into this past week, playing the PGA Club Championship, and then I think of this summer, the Arizona AM at Desert Highlands. Both of these tournaments I really wanted to back out of because I just felt really crappy about my golf game. I learned so much, and I actually surprised myself in both situations of playing really good golf with not my best golf swing, you know? So that I have learned like to play golf better. And I was able to show myself in both scenarios, like, okay, swing doesn't feel great right now, but you can still score decent. And in a lot of spots where I still gave some away with my short game. You know, I still had some 3-putts out there. I still had some double chips or, wedge shots that I didn't get on the green. Like there were still some opportunities that I could have actually scored pretty low, even with a golf swing that didn't feel comfortable. So I have to accept that you're not going to feel great all the time. And that doesn't mean to not follow through with your commitments that you've made, but also like putting yourself in those uncomfortable situations to learn, to watch other players play, learn from them. And again, put yourself in those pressure situations. Because again, I still feel the pressure both times. And when I go out there actually feeling really good about my golf swing, I want to have that experience in my back pocket of feeling that pressure and executing. So you're still working on that still. So that is a belief I'm getting rid of for 2024 because I really battled it this year bad. Like I was super stressed for no reason. Like it's okay. Like golf is a sport where you don't feel your best most of the time, really. You don't win a lot and it's just Justin, why does the golf swing so hard? I don't even get it. It's like, why one day can you feel so great?
Yeah.
And then the next 4 months you feel terrible. Like it's so instantaneous sometimes like that.
Yeah. I mean, the ball is the smallest ball in sports. The racket that we're hitting it with, the golf club, is the smallest racket in sports. It's a hard game. It's hard to be on your game every single time. But everyone can always admit, though, that when you've played your best and you come off the 18th hole, it's one of the easiest rounds we've ever played. Which actually proves that the game of golf is actually easy. We have to just stay out of our own way. And it's really hard to stop our conscious brain from trying to jump in and try to help us all the time. It's just being able to sit back and just allow our practice and allow our natural swing, which always shows up on that second swing. When you drop that second ball, there's hardly ever any swing thoughts on it. You just get up and you're just like, I just got to hit another one. And you swing and it's boom, and it's perfect. It's like, why didn't I do that? Because you didn't try hard on the second one. The first one, you're like, oh my God, I got to hit this ball. I got to hit it right. And a lot of times it comes from outside sources and outside motivators that we're thinking, I wonder what other people are going to think if I play poorly. And the G4 hat that says, no one cares what you shoot is absolutely true. Yeah. No one actually cares. If you play extremely well or if you play extremely poorly, no one really cares. Yeah. If you win a tournament, they say congrats, but they don't really care.
They stopped thinking about it 1 second after
Exactly
that.
right. Oh, wow, you won? Good job. I could care less. Is really what they're saying in their head. They don't care. So knowing that if you play poorly, if you play great, if you play average, no one really cares. And if you just stay out of your own way, usually your best golf usually comes forward.
Yeah. Okay. And then my 2024 goal was actually up until literally about 10 minutes ago. I didn't know what that was going to be because I didn't want it to be a certain, last year it was winning the Arizona Mid-Am. I don't want it to be something that's specific or that to win an event. I just think that that's so out of your control that it's not even worth having that goal. Do I want to win it? Yes. Do I want to qualify for the USGA Mid-Am? Yes. But again, it's just out of our control. So I was thinking to myself on the ride here and really half of this podcast, like what is going to be my 2024 golf goal? And the first thing that came to mind, and this I was thinking about for most of the morning, is I want to make golf fun again. It hasn't really been fun this year. And I think it was because I was putting a lot of pressure on myself. And I've had a weird year and it's just been off, like golf hasn't been a lot of fun. And usually when it's not a lot of fun, you're not going to play well. So I'm going to make golf fun again. But also what I just thought of while I was listening to you guys is that I was kind of trying to attempt a swing change these past couple months. And it's been miserable. So instead, I'm just going to focus on what Lynn and Pia say at Vision 54, balance, tempo, and tension. That's all I'm going to focus on. That's it. So it's easy. Like I can step up to get in my stance, feel balanced, and let go of any tension I have in my pre-shot routine, and hopefully have good tempo. And that just seems simple to me. And it seems like if those three things are on in my golf game, most likely I'm going to have a pretty good shot. So that is what I'm going to focus on this year. Balance, tempo, and tension. So I like it.
that.
It all has come together and I feel really good about that.
I love that.
And golf should always be fun.
It should.
It should always be fun because how lucky are we that we get to be on a golf course all the time?
Yes.
I mean, Tameka, do you still have your golf bug, you think?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
I secretly am like, how can I retire early so I can play more?
How much time do you get on the golf course each week?
About 2 times a week.
Yeah.
Fridays and Sundays are usually my days. And if I take a lesson I call them coaching sessions.
I like that. I like
not
it.
lessons anymore.
I like that.
I'll do those like on a Saturday. And so, or I'll try to practice. So 2 times actually playing.
Yeah.
October was rough just because of reseed. And then November, I was in a lot of charity scrambles, which I don't feel like that's golf. So
It's better than nothing,
Yeah.
but yeah.
but
And I know, Justin, you're on the course every day, pretty much.
Yeah.
And Alex, you're on the course a bunch too.
I've been playing lately. Yeah.
So we are lucky to be able to be out on the golf course a lot. So you're right. It should be fun. So let's wrap with a little story about Tameka just informed us that she had quite a story about her first horse race experience. So I know Justin shared about his horse race experience this past December. So Tameka, share about your first horse race experience.
let's see if I can make it quick. So mine was in March at the Seville member guest. I didn't know what it was. I had never seen one. I didn't know what to expect. I saw it on like the agenda, but I didn't know what it meant. Like, I didn't think I had to play in this. And so what they did was they took the top teams in each flight and they were like, you're in the horse race. And I was like, really? I got to go to the grocery store. I thought I was done after this. And they were like, no, you're in the lead in your flight. You're playing in it. And I was like, what is this? So quickly they were trying to explain it to me. And then I found out all the people had to watch. And they're all the people I know who have been drinking and pulled their carts all around. And we were starting on this par 3 that there's like a whole river of bunkers on the right, which is fine. I normally have no problem with this hole. But now I have to hit this shot onto the green in front of all of the people who are lined up, tooting their horns and yelling my name. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I yank it right and it goes in the bunker. And my partner has to hit it out of the bunker. And then, we take turns. We alternate alternate, right? And I am mad that I'm having to do it because I didn't know what it was. And I was like mad. So I was like, we're going to not do well and we're going to just get out of it now so I can go home and go to the grocery store because I need to I have other stuff to do. Like
I have stuff to do.
I was like, really? So I was mentally, purposely trying, I think, to get out of it. And she got out of the bunker and we still made our putt and we still like managed to get to the next hole. And I was like, how did we had a chip off and I had to do it. And we still got to the next hole. And I was like, ugh. So literally this went on and we kept surviving and surviving. We got to like hole 17 at Seville is like an island hole where you have to hit over all the water and then walk the bridge over. And so I know I'm like, oh, good. This one will get out because my partner is not as confident. No, she gets on and we birdie putt. And I think, oh my gosh, Donna Taylor was actually competing with us and she was like having so much fun. She got out on that hole and we make it to the last hole. And I'm like, no. Okay, at this point, I have played 5 freaking holes in this thing that I didn't want to play in. So I turned to my partner and I was like, this is the last hole, damn it. We are in it. We're going to win now because I have been here all day. It's getting dark now. We're going to win. And we end up on that last hole. It's a par 5. And you have to go over water. Either you make it in 2 or you lay up. And I'm like, we're making it at 2 so we can like get out of this thing. But we end up playing it 3 times in a playoff.
Wow.
We just kept going back. They finally called it and just let us do a chip off because it was getting dark. We ended up with second because my partner had to do the chip off and she felt horrible. And I was like, whoa. But when it was all over, I was like, this is the Hunger Games. Nobody told me that I was going to have to do this. And I was telling my husband about it that night because he was like, you're still golfing? And I was like, look, it was like this whole thing like Caddyshack. And I'm like explaining it to him and he's laughing. And he asked me, he said, would you do it again now that you know? And I was like, hell yeah. And now I'm ready. Like I now knew what to expect. So this year I'm looking forward to it, but I didn't know. I had no idea what to expect. And I was mad the entire time that we kept making it to the next one. Like I was hoping that we would get out. And finally, like the pros were there and they're like, Tameka, you guys are in it. You might as well like start smiling and enjoying it because you're in it. But it was so nerve-wracking to have like all the people yelling my name, blowing the horn, cheering for me, and me having to perform every time that I was hoping that I wouldn't so I could just get out of it. And now that it's over, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do that. Because now I know what to expect and I won't care about them. But it was kind of cool. And people came up to me afterwards. And one guy was like, it was fun watching your swing. And I was like, and only thing I said to him was, do you have some Tylenol or Aleve? I've been golfing all day. Like that was the one thing out of my mouth. But I now know what to expect. But the nerves of having people that I knew cheering for me and rooting for me on every hole and the pressure was insane. And I was like a hot mess. I felt like every shot was horrible, but somehow we kept surviving and we kept making it to the end.
Horse races are tough. You have a love-hate relationship with them.
But now I'm looking forward to doing it again. Because now I'm like, I know what to expect. I don't care about those people. I can block them out. I'm going to be like, it's okay. Yeah. And now I'll probably get out in the first round. But we'll see. Because now I'm not scared of them, though. Yeah. Again, getting comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Alex, have you played a horse race before?
Nope, never.
Oh, I bet that's coming up this year too. So it's quite an experience.
We did one for Babes Golf because we did our first competition. We did like a 6-week competition and all the girls that are top, they did it. So yeah.
That's fun. What a great idea. Yeah. And actually, I really like the idea that PV had with bringing all the pros out to do it.
It was awesome because you get to know the staff, right?
Yeah.
You get to see they get welcomed up. The whole
that's a great idea.
Get to see them. It was the first year we did that. It came from my teaching partner, Jane. It was her whole idea and it was a great hit.
It's kind of like an audition, though. Like if I'm looking for a golf coach, I'm going to look at which one.
There's the pressure back on again. I was feeling at peace. I was like, wow, I survived this. Now it's back to the interview.
Just made it real again.
I want the one who hit the good ball, not the one who hit the bad one. No.
Totally.
It's okay.
Well, guys, thank you for being here on my 100th episode.
Yes.
It's really special.
Congratulations.
You guys, it's a pleasure to have you on. Let's do it again in the future and keep me posted on what's going on with your game.
Awesome.
Great.
Thanks, Tori.
And don't forget the Babes Golf GoFundMe link is in the show notes.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.